Hello, everyone. Welcome to day four of the YouTube for Beginners workshop. My name is Michael Damon, and today is day four. Today, we're going to talk about how do you go about creating a channel and building community on YouTube. And I'm going to share some tips with you on some ways that you can do that, as well as share some examples of some channels that I follow and subscribe to that I often comment and interact with other people who are in the community. So if you're new here, this is the YouTube for Beginners workshop, and we are talking about how to use YouTube for marketing your business. Specifically, if you're a coach, consultant, someone who has community, provides services, uses your expertise as an offer to other people. Really kind of framing this around people who want to share something that they know with an audience of people who have the desire to learn what it is you can teach them, or for you to be able to do service delivery like in a group coaching type format. So there are a lot of different ways that people use YouTube, and the way that I use YouTube for myself and for my business is because I'm a coach and consultant. And YouTube is a great place for me to be able to, number one, demonstrate my expertise in my field, give people proof and examples of what it is that I know and what I could do for them, and then tap into a new community of people who may be looking for answers to questions that I know that I can answer. We talked yesterday about YouTube being one of the biggest search engines, one of the first places people go when they need to learn how to do something, or if they want to go a little bit deeper into a topic, they look for instructional information. Some people just go on YouTube because it feels good on there to connect with other people who share some interests that you have. So my mom has people that she follows on YouTube, and I swear I'm just like, I had no idea that people get on YouTube for like this. I remember, because she loves cleaning, that she used to follow somebody who would live stream cleaning their house. And hours, I'm not lying, hours, she would just have this on while she's doing whatever she's doing, or getting ideas from, oh, look at that thing on the counter. She has this kind of canister. Let me go see. And I was just like, is this what people do? And they had hundreds of thousands of subscribers on this channel. Tripped me out. Another thing people do on YouTube, you have people who get on there and read the latest gossip in the news. That's a thing. Okay. So I don't want you to think that there's not a place for you on YouTube. Most likely there's a corner of the world on YouTube that there are people who share some of the same interests as you. And it's just fascinating. And that's one of the things that I love about it. When compared to other social media platforms, I feel like YouTube, it's easier for people to kind of connect and find their tribe. Facebook groups is another place that people do that, but that interaction is a little bit different than on YouTube. But there's a spot for everything. So even though I'm using YouTube the way that I am, I'm only sharing with you what I'm doing and teaching you a lot of basics about using YouTube for your business. But you can take these things and adapt them to fit however you need to do business. One of the things that I know for the people who are inside of this group is that many of you are business owners and entrepreneurs. Many of you are either don't want to go down the rabbit hole of chasing trends on other platforms, or you're just looking for a more manageable way to be able to create content, to be able to reach out beyond your friends and family to a new audience of people. So those things are things that you definitely can do for YouTube. What I love about YouTube is that the content you create there is what we call evergreen, meaning like you can make this piece of content, it can live there as long as somebody's searching and you have the right keywords in your title, in your video, and you are covering things that people want to know, people will still find value in that. So as I mentioned, I haven't made a video of all last year. I didn't really do, I can count on one hand how many videos I probably made, and it wasn't with the intention of growing my channel or any of that. But this year I am more intentional about the content that I'm creating. And this workshop that we're hosting is just part of that. This is the kickoff to that. But I have videos that are 4 or 5 years old that continue to still be in my top three spots because the information that I talked about is still useful for people and still being searched for. The goal today is to talk about what does community look like, what tools do I have access to on YouTube, and how can I get more engagement, more comments, more people really wanting to interact with me and my channel, and what that might look like on different platforms. So let's just start out with taking a look at my subscriptions, and I'm going to talk to you and give you some examples of what community looks like in different ways. So let's talk a little bit about what it looks like. What does community look like, I should say, on these different platforms? All right. So Heinz is a channel that I follow, and this is a channel where I talked the other day about work with me sessions, where I used to kind of play like a 3 hour video and we would have some work sessions. So Heinz has done a really good job, and I think he's a great example of what community could look like on YouTube. His channel has videos that he kind of has like a set structure of things that he would do. So either he's going to pop on for a minute and just kind of give you some encouraging words and some advice. He has some videos that talk about how I beat procrastination. Here's one. He's sitting in his studio, which I believe he said is in his garage that he built in his house. He plays nice, calming music, and he's usually will make some videos where he's kind of giving you just some inspiration and
Happiness
just
and
talking
worries
about his
that are stuck in the
workflow as a
mind.
creator.
Then there's fears. Then
So,
we
calming
procrastinate.
voice,
Then we feel
relatable
bad that we're
topics,
procrastinating, not realizing that procrastination is
talking
really just
about
a part of
something
the
that a lot of
process.
people experience
I
and
procrastinate
can relate
everything. I'm
to.
a chronic procrastinator. The only thing I don't procrastinate is my cup of tea, understand?
So he's a big tea drinker. He'll usually incorporate that into his videos, showing him either making tea, brewing tea, talking about tea. And he just incorporates that into his messages. But he has a very, very engaging community. You'll see people who come back on here. I procrastinate on watching Heinz videos because I know, remember how much I'm procrastinating. But people know each other. They actually come back. I see them during the live streams, calling out each other's name, like, hey, such and such, how did that project that you were working on going? So they remember each other, especially when he does his live streams. You got to think they're 2, 3 hours long. And the people who come and hang out with him during the live streams come back pretty regularly, so they remember each other. He's done a great job. He used to have a community on the Mighty Network, same platform that I had Bond to Build on. Where people joined there. So they took the relationships and the communications into a private community, the way we do with the YouTube for Beginners Workshop. So that's just an example of one of those ways that you can build some community. Carmen talked about her sister Kim has an amazing community, and she's growing. Kim has, and I was like, man, this would have been the perfect day to have Kim to come on and talk about the community that she's built with her Grandma's World. Carmen, if you're available, can you share with us a little bit about her community and what they do and what it's about?
Yes, absolutely. So my sister started her YouTube community. It was supposed to be originally around content with her being a homeschooling grandma, and it has evolved. She got monetized in a fairly short period, as well as she just started featuring different things. So it's not all about the grandkids, but so many people that are grandparents kind of started there, and it's just amazing. Now she has a full community. She just made it like a family. So like my daughter has a cat. Yep, there she is right there. So now she's putting. It's just like we're a whole family built. People know my mother. They know my sister's grandkids, and they come back. They're part of the community. And it was so nice that she even had a virtual birthday party and all these different people came. It's a total community. So from me being in her community and getting to know the people in her community, now they're subscribing to the Be Well community. So I just love YouTube. It is by far one of my favorite. It is my favorite platform, and then second is Facebook. But I think you get much more bang for your buck on YouTube because it allows you to get that membership and things like that. But yes, I love it, Mike. Thank you so much for showing us how we can maximize our YouTube.
So I talked to Kim right before this workshop started, and I was telling her, she took a look at my channel and she said, hey, Mike, I looked at your channel and I see that you have some videos that have like huge, huge views. And she was just giving me some tips on how to monetize them. Monetizing had never been a goal of mine. It wasn't one of those things that I had sought out to do when I started my channel. I was just using it for educating. But she said, you're so close that a couple of things that you can repost that you've created before, and you'll get the rest of the numbers that you need in no time. So we talked about her coming in and kind of doing some presentation. I may maybe do a special session after this week, so I can schedule some time for her to come and just talk to you about her experience and share some of the things that she's done. So community, once you do get monetized, I'll just add this to on YouTube. They give you extra features. So like if you're ever watching live streams, I know people do it on TikTok. You can tip the creator. YouTube has something similar to that. They're called super chats. So people could be watching your live stream, and they can send what they call super chats, which is basically money. I've seen some videos where I've seen people get $100, $50, $20, $2. Like it all just depends on the person and what they want to give. So that's just a way that when you do build community and you do have people who feel really that the information that you're sharing with them is helpful, you'll have people who share their appreciation that way. One of the things that I also saw on Kim's channel is she has her Cash App in her description. So if you don't want to use the super chat, like you have your bio. You can put whatever you want to put in your bio. And I just noticed that was one of the things she had in her bio. So that's smart to do that. All right. All right. So let's just take a look real quick at a couple other channels that I'm familiar with. So there's a huge, and Carmen knows a lot about this because she was spending some time with it. Relocation. There's a huge, huge community of people who have channels about relocation. And I know that Carmen was sharing with me some of the research that she was doing with people who have these channels that were about relocating to Panama. So brilliant business model. This channel is all about relocating to Panama, and what they do, they have a 6-day all-inclusive tour of Panama for those who are considering relocating to to the country. You'll see many different areas, learn about visa options, how to get affordable health insurance, and much more. So this was fascinating to me, talking about building community, because number one, it's dedicated to this topic of relocating to Panama. So made a whole channel about if you're going to come here and if you're going to live here, here are all the things you need to take in consideration. Think about the target audience, because I always want you to do that. What might the people who come to your channel be looking for? What do I need to take into consideration when it comes to healthcare? What type of credentials will I need when it comes to like passport or visa? Um, what areas should I look at? What type of homes are available? What is the cost of living? What about grocery stores? So this channel is all populated with content that educates people about all the things that are going to be related to relocating to Panama. So brilliant idea. The other thing that I found out too is using the link in their bio. If you go to the website, there's actually like a guide and a tour that people can purchase. I think the last time I looked at that guide, I think the guide, a digital ebook guide now, and mind you, it's packed with information. But I think that guide was like $600 or so. I think it was something ran around. Yeah, 595. So has built up a community and so much value in the knowledge that they have that they've packaged all that stuff to say, hey, if you can't make it to Panama to come do the in-person tour, which is probably another couple $1,000s or so, here's this digital guide, a PDF that you can get that's going to give you links to all the places and things that you need to know, and they sell it for $595. Now, some people may think like, who's going to pay $595 for a PDF? The person who knows the value of getting the information they need to relocate to Panama. Because how much time and energy and money are you going to spend traveling there, getting there, trying to find somebody who can tell you where to go and what to do and what to look for? So don't assume that your audience, number one, is not going to purchase anything from you. If you have something to offer and it's of value to the people that you're making the content for, it's there. As I said, the money will come once you get really good at talking about the thing you want to talk about, and then you have offers that people can actually purchase because they need what it is you have. So I just think that that community there, you'll see that it's a pretty powerful community. There's tens of thousands of people that are there, and it was just amazing to see how that took shape and what that looks like. So let's talk a little bit about some of you. One of your assignments for today is going to be to do some interaction on YouTube, and I would like for you to go like and comment at least 5 other YouTube channels so that you can, number one, see what happens when you do that. You may or may not get a response, you may, but the easiest thing to do is just to start within our community and our circle. So there is a place inside of our group. Let me just show you where it is. I want you to do this so that we can support each other while we're in this space. So inside of our group, there's a place called YouTube Creators, and I asked everybody to share their YouTube channel. If you did share it and I didn't post you in here yet, I'll go through and look for that. So what I did is I just made a post for everybody who shared their YouTube channel so that you can come over here to this tab and subscribe and like. So just go to the channels, find a video that you like, comment, like, and create a little bit of engagement. One of the things about that is when you do that, especially if you do that sometimes on larger channels, your comment is going to be visible in public to other people. So there's often times where I might be on the channel and I'll see something somebody comments on. I'll click on their profile and go see, oh, what are they about? And now I may have just found this new creator that I want to subscribe to. So that ends up giving you exposure as a number one, a channel creator. You might get people who like really can resonate and agree with what you're saying. So then they'll chime in and be like, oh yeah, me too, or that happened to me. I like the idea that you pointed that out. But these things are going to be the things that really are going to kind of create engagement. So in addition to like creating and posting videos, interacting on other people's channel is a great way to do that. Carmen talked about during her sister's live stream, her sister, encouraged people to go check out the Be Well magazines, and Carmen got all these subscribers and followers from that. So doing that type of sharing and interacting with other people does have value, and it's going to help build up that engagement that you're looking for. All right. Sharing your videos is going to be I'm not going to number these, is another good way. So even though I have my videos on YouTube, I also post my videos on LinkedIn. I will post them on Facebook sometimes, but I don't do it too often. But I put them in other places so that people can find them. I use them inside of my post. So there's a lot of different ways to be able to do that. And I just want you to start kind of getting used to experimenting with that. Okay. So let's open up for questions and go from there.
I love that today really was a reminder that there is something for everybody because the things that I follow on YouTube, like my oldest daughter, she think is totally crazy that Imani and I, like we know all the top planners. Like we look for planners and sit there and literally watch people sit there and plan their week. But then my oldest daughter, she follows all of the makeup tutorials. So it's so important that we lean into whatever it is that we're passionate about. But this gives me the mindset if instead of me just consuming all these planners, since I plan every day consistently and diligently, I should incorporate that because it's something I can do seamlessly because I love doing it. I should be incorporating more of the planning and the daily method of operation. I could leverage my journal by using it, actually doing YouTube live, because I don't need to feel like it's for everybody. It's for people like me that like planning. So I just got to think out the box more. And you reminded me of that by sharing some of your comments today.
Thank you for sharing that. You'd be surprised at the stuff that you do that could be something that's going to resonate on these platforms. It will be, it's just surprising sometimes. And the best thing to do is really experiment and to try different things out. Share those things that you're passionate about because there's other people who have the same. Like I said, those videos of my mom watching somebody clean the house, I'm like, I didn't get it, but that's what she was doing, and she was not alone. Thousands of people buying stuff that they see in the video at the same time because the person was putting those affiliate links in the description and in the captions. Just amazing. So we were talking after one of the sessions last week, and a lot of people experienced this. So I think it's a good opportunity to kind of bring this up. Elvira's business is in the travel industry. And she often talked about like feeling like she couldn't talk about travel the way that other people did because she didn't do a lot of traveling. So she wasn't posting, she wasn't sharing as much, at least on this YouTube channel, simply because she felt like she had to kind of capture the proof and all the things to kind of show that. So she's excited to be able to go on this cruise, and she has her family with her because now that's going to help her capture the things that she needs to tell her story. I would say that if you feel that way, other people are going to feel that way too. I believe that everything has an element of relatability to other people in it. And even being in that situation, my advice was that's something to share. I've been in the travel industry for 2 years and I haven't been able to travel the way that I really wanted to, but I really dreamed to. And if I was going to and money wasn't an issue, these are some of the places that I would go. So even those things that you feel like you don't have or that you can't do because you haven't done it or you don't have the photos and all that stuff for it, there's still some ways to incorporate that. The other thing that she shared was just she was a little concerned about the way she shows up on camera. And we talked about our self-confidence, and how important it is to, I know it's not easy, but to kind of embrace that, because guess what? There's other people who are going to be watching you who are going to feel the same way. And that often sometimes kind of gives people an open invite, just to say like, yeah, like I haven't been making content because I felt the same way. I didn't want to have to get dialed up all the time. Like there are a lot of people who share in that, and you'll get people who look dialed up one day and they're not the next. Like they're showing that range and they're just being themselves. So I don't want anyone to kind of feel like they always have to be X whatever kind of way. You can be, that's a choice you can make, but don't let that be a barrier to you being able to show up, because there's going to be somebody out there who's going to relate and feel that way. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. We are done with the what do we call it? The training part. This is pretty much open session time. What I do want to do, and even if we don't get too much comments or feedback, I do want to just let you know, I know some people have StreamYard. I'm a StreamYard user. Some people have Zoom. Most of us have Zoom because we're here. But depending on, there's two things you have to look into with Zoom. You can go live to YouTube or Facebook. Is there another one? I think those are the main two. You can go live there from Zoom to those platforms. And I actually was just going to do a little bit of that today, just so that you can see what it's like, what the process looks like, and then where the video goes when you actually do that. So I'm going to do that hopefully. I'm gonna have to stop recording in order to do it. So, number one, and I don't know for sure because I didn't look into this. I'm not sure if it's available on free plans. So one thing is to see like, is it a feature that you can only do on free, or do you have to have a paid plan? I do know that by default, the live streaming is typically turned off within your Zoom account. So I had to go to zoom.us, log into my account, and then there was a setting section where I can enable the live stream option. I think by default it's turned off. So you'd have to look at that too. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to talk through this. I know you can't see this part of my screen, but I'm going to just talk through this. In the bottom, let me see. I don't think you can do it. Oh, okay. So I can record and go live at the same time. That's what I wasn't sure about. So I'm going to just continue to record and see what happens. So in the bottom of my screen, because I'm the host, I have an option that says more. You do have to be the host in this section in order to go live to the social media channel. Next, there's a little button that says live stream. So if I click that, I can choose which place I want to go live to. I'll take a screenshot here just so you know what it looks like, and I'll put that in the chat in a second. So I'm going to go live on YouTube. So the first time you do this, and I have not went live to my YouTube channel from Zoom in a very long time, you do have to give permissions. I'm just going to select all. And the next thing it's going to do is ask you to name this video. So this is going to be the title of the video and then the privacy level. So you have the option to go public, which means anybody who visits your channel can see it. Unlisted, which means the video will not be available to the public, but if you give somebody the link to it, they will be able to view it. Or private, which means only you can view it. So for the sake of this demo, I'm just going to do unlisted. Maybe we'll do our class live tomorrow. And I'm going to say go live. So just like Facebook, if you've ever gone live on Facebook, there's a processing time where it has to prepare the stream, make the connection, and all those good things. So just give that a couple minutes. And then we can talk a little bit about when you might do this. Stream, make the connection, and all those good things. So just give that a couple minutes. Okay. So you heard, or you may not have heard, but there was some audio feedback, and that's because there's a delay. So my voice was just playing back to me to the stream. So currently I'm live on the Michael DeMond YouTube channel. When you are live, let me refresh. Typically, it'll show your stream on screen. Oh, that's because I did unlist it. But typically, it'll show that you're live, and you'll get a little red thing on there that shows that you're live. So live videos will be shown to, if they were public, anybody who visits your channel. Sometimes what YouTube will do is send out an alert. So it'll let the people who subscribe to your channel know that you're live, and then they would be able to watch and tune in. So that is a great way to be able to do some like live engagement with your subscribers. Let me stop the live stream real quick. Do some in live engagement with your subscribers. If you're maybe working on a project, hey, if you're cleaning your house, you just never know. Go live and just see, practice it. Again, thinking like you're not going to hurt anything. You can always delete it if you want to afterwards. But I think tomorrow we're just going to do the whole session tomorrow since our final day as a live day. And let's just see, I want to be able to share with you guys in our group what kind of results that live produces. But people will usually do lives doing a variety of things. If they're checking out touring, teaching something, sometimes people are just hanging out and just having some good laughs. You just never know. Cleaning the house, journaling, working. I follow channels where people have these work with me sessions beyond the ones you saw with Heinz. There's some other ones where all I see is a person typing on their computer and they're sitting in front of a window with a beautiful view of some city. There's one channel I follow, they do that. So they're in Tokyo, they're in London, Singapore. Like they're in all these different places working in front of the computer or on the balcony. And it'll be like a 3 hour thing and music's playing. It just kind of relaxes me and I usually can work to those. So the options are endless. There's a lot of different ways that you can use YouTube and you can create content without going heavily into a lot of production.